Hi guys, welcome. It's me, RG. I'm your host today, and we're going to be talking about, on We the People show, I have a special guest. His name is Mr. Boogie, and he's going to sleep. That's Mr. Boogie's hat right there. Anyways, he may or may not pop up after he finishes drinking his bottle, but I just want to let you guys know today's topics are some of the things in the news, in our news report. It is January 21st, 2015, and it is going to be 3 in about 20 minutes. Today is Wednesday. And so what we're going to be talking about today in the news, the highlights of the news, is one, we're going to talk about President Obama. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but they did what I call an internet info bomb on President Obama yesterday. And they were explaining that everybody can put their faith in President Obama. And even a guy on Twitter, his name is DeRay, he had said that he likes President Obama, but he hasn't done anything for Ferguson. He didn't show up. And there's a lot of other chatter going on. And, you know, my overall response is that President Obama and his family, you know, I like them. They're nice. But, you know, they have done some nice things. But overall, for the country, they haven't done anything. For Americans, when everything was going on with Ferguson, Michael Brown, even this group that he's become aware of from Fresno, and George Bush and all his group, he hasn't done anything. And he's done quite opposite of that. He's kind of indicated that, and shown through his actions, that they control him. And so, you know, as much as he's a great president or a good person, and I personally, I thank him, you know, for what he has done, you know, in as far as like changing this country around, he can't. He's owned by them. They own him. They own him. They own the governor here in California. They own, like I said, the police chiefs. They own a lot of people. So Mike Brown, as we have seen, he was killed. He was killed the day after I explained that Plessy versus Ferguson is what's going on. And I think they killed Mike Brown to send a message the day after, but also to change it from people thinking Plessy versus Ferguson is what's going on to changing now people are thinking Plessy or Mike Brown versus Ferguson or Mike Brown in Ferguson. And it's what I call an internet info bomb. And then everybody that's been watching this group, Robin Williams let everybody know what they were doing. And Robin Williams was inside of this group. And we've been following, like I said, Fresno's Jerry Dyer. Here they have Greg Sir, he's been helping them, and the DA, George Gaston. And they're all part of this red group, this Nazi group, which is basically, you know, they do whatever they want, and we're calling them liars. That's what Nazi means. Like, they would say, oh, he had a gun, and they shot him. And we'd be like, you didn't see it. It's a Nazi, you know. And so they start calling them, instead of liars, they start calling them Nazis. They didn't see anything. They don't want us to see anything of what they're doing either. So anyways, they killed Robin Williams. Everybody here knows it. It's no secret. And, you know, it's a big time thing. So now we got President Obama's trying to restore the confidence. And this is after all these deaths, which they've gone out and just publicly executed all these people. Now we have deaths that we're reporting by groups of people, like 5, 6 at a time. Okay. So when you have 5, 6 at a time, back in the day, Neil Young said, you know, when there was just 4 students killed, he said, we got to get to it. He goes, Nixon sending 10 soldiers. We're finally on our own. You know, we got to get down to it. We got to make changes. Things are happening. And that's his song called Ohio. And so I'm explaining all this so that you guys can be aware in our news report. And everything that has, you know, trying to support President Obama, he is their puppet. He, you know, he's not going to do anything for America, because if he would have, he'd already done it. And there's an old saying that says either you know, you're too naive to do it, or you're incapable. But either way, you got to go. So, you know, this is up to the people to make these changes. People have to make the changes. People have to make the things happen for the people. And President Obama's not going to do it. The way that people are going, they're going to do it. If you're constantly looking for someone else to do it for you, it isn't going to happen. You got to rely on people and get help, but we have to do it ourselves. We're on our own. And in the second part of our news today, we're going to be talking about it, and I'll show you. We do have a screen here for the President Obama. And we just go like this. AirPlay, it's a great tool by Apple. And so, when I go back to home, and we start looking at this stuff right here, and you can see, if you look kind of at the screen, you can see like all the different information that we have right here. But we can see, you know, some of the different things. Neutering civil rights and history. These are all people that are talking, and these are pretty good information. You're going to find people that are talking right in the first hand. This is President Obama right here. It says a response to Obama's State of the Union. It's exactly what I said. You just have all these different people. Some people, they're just advertising instead of trying to help out. You know, and I like a lot of these people, but I mean, I think everybody needs to get together, and the stars need to start, you know, speaking up, being American. And it's just what needs to happen. So, this is a real good one right here. A non-corporation watch. There's a lot of different information that you can find. And you can see on this right here. How corrupt are America's judicial elections? Very corrupt. I mean, you already know. Everything electronically, they're controlling this group of Nazis. And, you know, it's only time before they want the elections electronically so that, you know, they'll always be in power. So we got Jimmy Kimmel here, which is kind of interesting. You know, he's a really good character and comedian, but I think, you know, it'd be neat to hear him say something and step up to some of these people that are just being out there. One of the people that I think is doing a great job is Taylor Swift. So let's take a look at Taylor, what she said the other day. So there's Taylor Swift. And so right here she's saying, you tell those hater girls. And I think that, you know, Taylor's been putting out a lot of positive music with Selena. And I think she's just saying that people should put out positive things instead of going along with the Nazi group. There's a lot of people that I think they don't even realize that they're so talented that they get sucked into things and they really don't need to do what people are telling them. And so Eric's Love, Electric Love by Borns, B-Orns, sounds like an instant classic to me. Just saying, just saying, got a Borns. And Taylor's very familiar with the secret language that these people pass through the media, through a lot of things. You know, she's been told when she left country to go to pop that they were part of the original 13. So, you know, it's other things. I like this right here, remembering his beautiful words on MLK Day, which is Martin Luther King Day. So, you know, that's kind of just some of the things I'm saying. So for Taylor, you know, I'm really proud of her, and I'm really proud of Taylor and some of the other people out there that are doing positive messages, like Selena Gomez, The Heart Wants, We'll Make It Through This Mess. You know, Katy Perry, some of the other artists that are out there, and you know, they're doing awesome jobs. And I heard the song by Pitbull the other day, and it said it's a really snappy tune. I like it. It goes do 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 do, and it goes, for all those who are going through tough times, you know, every day above ground. He says, we know. So I mean, you know, that's a positive message and a positive song. And I'm really happy that we have people like this, and some of the people that right now are kind of helping these guys along. I'd ask you to stop helping them, start helping people to remember it's going to be a great day to get back to being Americans, and don't support this thing that's actually, it's anti-American anytime you hear the things about Nazis. The second part that I was going to show you on Taylor for our news today is we covered President Obama, but the second part is all these group shootings. Like I said, there's been a lot of group shootings, and also these group shootings are actually part of these secret cop groups. They're out there killing these people, and they're not letting you know, but they're getting rid of the ones that they don't want around. And if you take a look into, sometimes what they did or their history or something around that circles their life, you'll figure out why they were in the group that had been, shot or killed or whatever had happened to them. The last thing is there was a doctor. There's a case where there was a doctor, and there was a doctor that had gotten shot. And so the doctor, he ended up getting shot, and what it was when they shot the doctors had performed some of these government experiments for them, for this group, this Nazi group. And it came out, and you guys will see this later as time goes on, that in the news they were just saying they just randomly got shot by a suspect, whatever. There was cases actually going to court. They follow all their cases every single day. So even when somebody's thinking about filing a case, or before they file a case, they'll get information and they'll try to stop this stuff. And so this person was filing the case, and he was bringing these doctors in, and these doctors were going around, and the information will start to surface if you can use Twitter and some of the other accounts, that they were performing these government experiments, the tagging, the implants, which I said, I myself, I know this firsthand. Here in San Francisco, they took me. I was abducted. I was, taken to a hospital where they put some kind of implants and did all kinds of other things. But they put them in my eyes. You could see the needles. And in my Facebook, you see also the pictures where you can see where they put on the electrical to make sure my heart doesn't stop while they're operating. But I got incisions all kinds of places, and a tag and everything. And so a doctor doing this very similar work, I'm not sure what state it was, he was just on the list to go to court and to testify for some of the stuff that he's done. And they had a lot of evidence with that. And so what had happened was they didn't want it to go to court, so they ended up killing him. And, he shouldn't have been doing that. And it's kind of like, well, he was dealing with the devil, but I don't think there was any reason, for him to die. But they did. They ended up killing him. They didn't want their information getting out. So that's one of the real stories and the real news. And as InfoWars has said before, unless you know why these things are really happening, you won't know. So, the best thing I can tell you is keep supporting the cops that that are good. Stay away from the ones that are bad. And remember, just be you. Be you. Stand up for somebody. Stand up for justice. Stand up for people. Don't do anything that's against the law. Often a lot of times we're seeing that they'll come back and they'll kill their own people as to not give away their secrets. So I'm going to look up